I just assumed it was like every other tribal program that they get grant money and nothing ever happens. And for them to come and to put it in and to see all of our own tribal members a part of it, I really enjoyed that.
You say energy, and the first thing I think of is textbook stuff. It can't be created or destroyed, this and that. But I go back to, what I was taught. Everything has a spirit.
Plants, animals, each other, we're all connected. Mother Earth, nature, Mahel. We're all one. We all give off this energy. And now that we know how to harness it so that our elders don't have to pay $1,000 a month, even my parents, their bills are $900 a month just for energy.
They're quiet, they're clean. If people take care of them, I think they'll last many, many, many years. We like a quiet place, except the rooster's proven me wrong. If you see, boy, he's just a noisy booger, isn't he?
My house is all electric. I have a wood fireplace, but I do not use it. My electricity was like almost nothing. I mean, it was like less than half. That should be given to people here that can really use it, that don't have the income to pay these high utility bills. I don't think we'll run out of sunlight. To me, energy is like a ball or something,
Well, this past summer we did 15 on our elders' homes, and right now we're working on a commercial array at the school.
As natives, we get our energy from the earth, we get our energy from the elements. There has been some resistance, but not as much as when the discussions first started.
In the beginning, there was a lot of apprehensiveness, distrust, which is pretty common, especially when something new comes about.
Right now, you have a generation sitting in the board leadership positions who don't quite see things the way younger generations see things.
That generation, they're more stuck in that colonized mindset where they came from boarded schools, or where their grandmas or their parents were in boarding schools. And in those boarding schools, they stripped a lot of our culture away from us. That's why a lot of our elders are afraid of change. Makes me really sad to know that our elders and our parents have gone through the things that they've gone through for them to be where they're at.
You can't change it. You can't change the past, but you can change the future. It's there, it happened. We're still dealing with the repercussions. We're still dealing with, broken promises. We're still trying to navigate in this new world, because like us as Native Americans, like we weren't really considered people for a long time. I try not to dwell on the negative because you have to want to do better. If we don't take care of the things we need to take care of now, who will?
Positive, negative, or one circuit on the top.
To be able to step out of your comfort zone or do things you never thought you could do, you have to heal yourself first.
I was third or fourth one on the list, and if somebody dropped out, I'd have an opportunity to go to this solar training down at Red Cloud Renewable. I didn't really have my hopes up at first. I was too worried about bills. I was too worried about taking care of my kids. And I got a text message that asked me if I'd be ready to leave on Sunday.
When I was younger, about 12 years old, my dad told me, he said, "Okay, my boy, you're going to be fire chief this winter." Yay, all right, I'm going to be fire chief. Little did I know, I had to keep the fire going all the time. And then the houses weren't efficient then.
I found that I wasn't so much interested in the actual installation part of it. I was interested in everything else that led up to the installation. We are headed to the Tribal Employment Rights Office. That was my favorite part. But I would rather do all the paperwork and do stuff behind the scenes. And I was teasing him. I was like, "You expect me to get on a roof?" I was like, "I might fall off." And anyways, we talked about it, and next thing you know, I'm I have a job.
In our culture, in our way, we're all solar warriors because we honor the sun. We honor Ampetu. We honor that in our way of life. Unknowingly, you're just rebuilding oneself. Once that happens, you're actually unknowingly rebuilding your family, rebuilding your community, rebuilding of a nation. After you get to a point, you're going to say, wow, I did that. Wow, how did I do that? What was that? What? And then you start to understand that you was going through a process. You was going through a process.
I'm just some kid from down the road on the reservation, and there's not a whole lot of jobs around here. So this opportunity just kind of happened upon me, and now I love my job. I don't work a day in my life because I love what I do. I'm not leaving solar ever. I'm gonna do this till the day I die.
Energy is, I think, the ability to do work. I think is the broadest definition of it.
These are things that people from here do not get to do, and I love it.
Anything that I have ever been through, I went through it to be able to help somebody. And so why would I not love who I am?
Once you learn to love yourself for who you are, then you can really do whatever you want. And so I feel like if we can incorporate healing with renewable energy, because to me they kind of go hand in hand. Back in the day, there was an equal balance of give and take with Mother Nature. We took something, we gave it back. Renewable energy, it's almost like a healthy relationship with Mother Earth.
Freedom is our home.
That van is my home. There are many like it, but this one is mine. First day I was like, we have to pick these up and carry them over there. Now I can pick two up and carry them 400, 800 yards down or up a hill.
I was raised with two grandmothers. My father used to say, I want you to stick around here and help these old ladies.
Sit at a drum is an honor. You can't just be like, here, I'm gonna sit down with you guys. No, you have to be invited. You have to, there's processes to these things.
So I would go down to the creek and peek at my dad's mother. She would be talking to someone and I could hear her laugh. And for the life of me, I couldn't see anybody that she was talking to.
I wanted to show everyone, this is my culture, this is where I come from.
I ran down to the creek, and what I had found was that there was a little piece of a potato, a piece of meat, and a little piece of bread. She was feeding the tree. See, the Indigenous, they believe that we are related to everything. The sun is our relative, the trees, the dirt, the creek, all of the animals, all of the plants, we're all related to them. And the solar system fits right in there.
We're looking at 5 beautiful solar arrays that we just put up for the Busby School. So that's exciting.
We means sun, and that sun brings healing and hope to our people.
This is a very historical moment. It's been a long time coming. Our people deserve this.
We've been recently awarded $136 million to deploy within Ochete Shakoe and the surrounding area. But what does that look like? Are we ready for something like that? We're gonna need a workforce.
My great-grandfather told me a story when I was 5 or 6, and he said Cheyennes were like the buffalo. Other animals, when they come up upon a storm, they'll find ways to go around it. But buffaloes, no matter what, they move forward and they go through the storm and they wither through it and they come out the other side stronger. And that's who we are as a people. That's why we're still here.
So there's a couple different variations of my Indian name. Essentially, it's a woman that's walking down a hill.
I feel like the first time you told me the woman coming down the hill, you said she was backlit by sun.
The sun was coming up. Like you could see that it was morning.
Are you not connecting the dots here?
I'm connecting the dots, but I don't want to get too excited.
History repeats itself over and over and over again. So for us to be able to try and change the narrative so that we can do better things for future generations, that's where my energy is. And that's what energy means to me.
It's the grass growing, it's, the birds flying, it's, the breath we take, considering I'm smoking. It's our prayers, it's how we speak, it's how we listen, it's the steps on the earth, it's our kids, it's the laughter. For me, energy is all around us. It's everything.